see you all right.
Virtual.
Yay.
Zoom.
Yeah, we have an actual and a virtual event on. So, welcome everyone. Thank you for being here. I'm Dr. Donna Hinders, and Jocelyn and Rachel and I have had a really great time putting this event together for you. So we called it Mind, Body, Soul because the mind and the body and the soul spirit are inextricably intertwined. And you may have noticed this sometimes if you're worried about something, you get a stomach ache. You know that connection. So this tonight is about creating more awareness and opportunity to hit the reset button on our health. And it's about the opportunity to do a deep cleanse in our bodies. And sometimes that's like too much too soon for some people. So we just want you to open your mind and your heart this evening to this gift that we have for you and this evening that we've planned for you. And see if it's a fit for you to do a full-blown cleanse. It might not be, but we're going to talk about that as we go along. So, you know, the modern world is not conducive to good health. Anyone notice that? Yeah. And so we really should do. You haven't noticed? All those McDonald's. So we really should do 2 cleanses a year. Well, you know, COVID happened and 2020 was a mess, and I didn't do 1 cleanse last year, and I have lots more reasons to cleanse after 2020. Anybody else feel that? Yeah. So I just want to introduce you to these wonderful ladies. This was the most fun part of this whole thing, is working with these 2 wonder women. So first I'm going to introduce Rachel Cudskill. This is her place. Thank you, Rachel, for opening this up for us. So Rachel talks about moving the body in a functional way while increasing strength, range of motion, and flexibility. And that's the key to balance within the muscular self. These aspects of the body have become the focus with Rachel, and her attention to details of each movement, each breath, and every intention is how she has crafted her special. With over 20 years of experience in the health and wellness industry, Rachel wanted to encompass a deeper understanding of how the kinetic chain is affected by repetitive movements, prior injuries, emotional and psychological health, nutritional health, and the overall wellness of the whole body. Because of this, she pursued certifications and teachings of corrective exercise, aromatherapy, nutritional support, and supplementation, various movement therapies, and more. It is through these teachings that she created Fit Instinct, a premier holistic healthcare clinic designed to treat and teach through proper movement, recovery sessions, and whole food nutrition. And I can say from my own personal experience that she is a Wonder Woman. She's amazing, and literally she saved my life. And Jocelyn and I are fairly new to one another, and I just love her and so impressed with her work. Jocelyn is a certified master health and wellness coach, as well as a certified empowered well-being coach who focuses on building a positive foundation based around the connection between the body and the mind. Jocelyn assists her clients in shifting habits and mindsets that keep us in survival mode instead of thriving mode. Jocelyn supports her clients by empowering the relationship we have with our bodies and our food that supports our bodies so that we can create a balanced, healthy lifestyle. Jocelyn has studied at Health Coach Institute, where she received her certifications in health and wellness coaching, mastery coaching, transformational methods, as well as CHWC certified empowered well-being coach. Impressive stuff. Where she focuses on, she's also a healthy lifestyle private chef, where she focuses on healthy eating that is flavorful, deprivation-free, and sustainable, and yummy. Jocelyn is the owner of Soul Smile Health and Wellness, where she offers one-on-one health and mindset coaching. Soul Smile Kitchen is a healthy meal delivery program offered in Pueblo only. So, and I am Dr. Donna Hinders, and I've been in chiropractic practice of drugless therapeutics in Pueblo. This is my 37th year. It's so weird to say that, you know, but time marches on. So I now practice upper cervical chiropractic, which is a very gentle and powerful type of chiropractic. I use whole food nutrition in my practice. I studied acupuncture and classical homeopathy and sound medicine, and you know, I'm pathological eclectic, like I don't know what that are. I do lots of modalities. So it's just great to have you here. So I like to say we live in a time when this is considered a health drink. And this book had to be written in defense of food because very few people know what food is anymore because McDonald's is not food. Gatorade is not healthy. So we really have to reset our notions around because we have been indoctrinated by the media. So it's time for a healthy living revolution. I love this quote I got from Jacqueline Fancer. I really regret eating healthy today, said no one ever. So be careful about reading health books. You might die of a misprint. Mark Twain said that. Same thing with Dr. Google. You have to be really careful. Is there good stuff on the internet? Yeah. Is there a lot of misinformation? Kind of wacky stuff? Yeah. So we need to be careful about that and really talk to people who are trained in taking care of our bodies and our well-being. So Rachel and Jocelyn are up.
So and you know what, I should say this too, because Donna did introduce herself, or Dr. Donna introduced herself. And, she just kind of, I've done this and this for 37 years and blah, blah, blah. And, she kind of just like sweeps it under the rug because that's what she does, is just, she does all this so easily. But I was recently talking to a client and patient of ours that we share, and we were like, it's not like we go to Dr. Donna because she's a chiropractor. I mean, we do, and we really don't, because she's just this whole encompassing doctor. And we were trying to figure out like what it is that she does that we would tell people. And what we came up with is she's a holistic neurologist. Because our nervous systems are so much healthier because of her and because of her work. And it doesn't matter what her approach is necessarily, it's just she knows how to find the right things, because there's a lot of approaches that can help, but she has really found these things that just come together, and it's just really amazing. It's almost like a miracle how it all just starts slowly healing you in a proper way without overdoing the system. So anyways, I just wanted to share that also, because she's a miracle worker.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rachel.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Like, Donna is so much more than the chiropractor. She is life-changing. 100%. I see her as well, and I refer her, and I'm like, you have to go see her. Like, she's going to get to the depths of really what's going on in a way that is comfortable but sometimes uncomfortable. She'll push you too.
Yeah.
But just what works right for you and your unique body. She listens to your body and listens to you. So thank you.
You're welcome. You guys taking a look at this?
Everybody got it?
For those of you at home, we'll be sending this out. It's a toxicity questionnaire. Is it time for a cleanse? So you will have the ability, but it has things on here like, do you get bloated after eating? Do you tend to gain weight easily in your belly? Extra pounds that won't come off? Headaches? Frequent belch or gassy? Cravings for sugar and starchy foods? Mood swings, anxiety? Difficulty focusing, foggy brain, allergies? Pain, muscle achiness, stiffness, feel addicted to foods, or feel anxious, upset, nervous, or downright cranky. So that's what's on here. If you've checked any one of those, it might be time for a cleanse.
Yes. So as you can see, if you mark any one of these, it's kind of saying, hey, your body's trying to tell you something. For me, the number one thing is, what is my mood like? How am I feeling? Am I irritated? A lot. But we just want to go around the room and like get to know you all a little bit. So just if you would say your name, and then just one word that you're entering into this workshop with.
I'm Alex. I'm actually Rachel's office manager, and I suffer from digestive disorder. So I'm actually very medication does not.
That is that.
I'm Debbie, and I'm just interested, I've been super lucky, I've never been on any medication. And I'm at that age where all my friends seem to be, I'm like, why are you on medication? And so I just want to make sure that I'm doing the right things so that I can stay that way. So just want to find out more about this.
Debbie also. There must be something about Debbie because I'm not on any medication.
Yay.
Some vitamins and supplements. That's a good thing. I really wasn't sure what this was, but I was very curious. And so I thought I'd get out of my little box over there and I'll find out.
Perfect. Well, thank you for coming. I love coming in with curiosity, right?
I'm Patty, and I am motivated by just wanting to take back control of my life and be in charge of, not blaming the peeps for getting me fat and things like that, but being able to empower myself. Is one of the reasons for being poor.
I like that. Empower. That was gonna be my word. Don't use it.
Empowered to
Empowered, I
max.
was gonna- It is
To the
empowered to that.
I'm Betty and I do work for Dr. Hendricks, but I've done a cleanse before, like about 3 years ago. And I'm thinking it's probably past due. We still do some of the daily things, but it's really just stick to it,
Dive deep, be consistent.
get back to the group.
Hi, I'm Blaze. I belong to her. And we've been with Dr. Hendricks for 15, 18 years, yeah. And it's helped us a lot. This one that's I'm having trouble with now is focusing on a foggy brain lately.
Yes, that is definitely a sign is foggy brain or just distracted easily. Yeah. I am Shannon and I work with Dr. Hendricks as well. And I've never done a cleanse. I've always been really curious about them, but I'll be honest, I've just never really taken a hold of my life. And now I'm going down this path of trying to, I'm getting older, so I need to be healthier. It is your turn.
I'm Ron. I work in the healthcare field, I'm a nurse practitioner. And have been 41 years.
Wow. That's awesome.
And I understand there's a lot of problems with Western medicine. Live with it. I've been with Jocelyn's food program for
That'll die down in just a moment.
6 months,
A little bit longer than that. It's almost been a year.
almost a year.
So 8 months.
Okay. Well, I'm tired of asking, do these pants make me look fat? Because, of course, because I am fat. Well, I was fat. So I've never done a cleanse. I've been curious. And I'm more curious of how you get cups to match. I mean, that has to be a chick thing. Because
Yeah. It really is. It's an OCD thing.
We were talking about that earlier.
That fascinates me. So,
Well, thank you for being so observant.
Yeah.
well, I just noticed it. I said, what a coincidence. And then I look over here and,
I do have orange cups.
Oh, yeah,
I
she
didn't put
does.
them out.
We have blown his mind now. That's it. Workshop over.
Takeaway, make everything match. Well, so like I said, my word was empowerment because I feel like I've done a lot of really good things and I do lots of really good things, but I need help with the empowerment of other people and what works because you forget. You get kind of stuck in of eating,
joke
you
about
know?
rice and broccoli.
Yeah, so you have, or you get tired of eating the same thing and you know there's other things out there, so it's just empowering to be around really like-minded. Yeah. Rylan.
Hi, I'm Gina. I'm here to support my daughter, but it's been a few years now. I have some knee issues and they're getting worse and, that people are saying you need knee replacement. I'm really reluctant for that, but I was a competitive gymnast, so maybe. And just, I'm in a high stress job, so high stress, but sounds like a lot of people there are, and so do have the brain drain, fog, too many, trying to do too many things, multitasking, and we all know multitasking, people think they're good at it.
Rachel asked me like,
And they are, but it's not, you think you're good at it, but you can't be, it's just the way it is. And, I think we've tried to eat healthy, but then there's those times that you're just so busy, so tired. And I do a lot of skipping of meals just because I just get busy and forget to eat.
I changed them to the big screen.
Oh.
For their intro.
So it's just trying to get in that routine of eating correctly, and I have bad eating habits from a child, from young, being a gymnast. We didn't know about nutrition. It was starvation. So, yeah.
And then we've got just a couple people who are on Zoom. And so we've gone around the room already, and you guys are now on the big screen. And so we'll have So what we'll do is if you want to unmute yourself, we'll start with, we have another Deb, Deb Meredith. We'll let her do an intro of who she is, and then a word that she feels she wants to bring to this, or what her thoughts are on joining tonight.
Okay, I'm Deb. I will very soon be entering a new stage of life called retirement. And in the last, probably ever since Rachel left West Virginia, I've been in a downward spiral of physical fitness. And
I used to work with Deb in West Virginia.
We eat pretty healthy at our house. Norman's a very healthy Italian eater, lots of vegetables and fruits, and I'm not as good as him. But I've spent the last 9 months, probably almost 10 actually, working unemployment. I got switched to unemployment during COVID, and it was quite the crisis from that perspective. So I've been sitting in a cubicle for 10 months and also dealt with some colon cancer, which is hereditary in my family. Nobody's died from it except my grandfather. The rest of us are still here and doing well. But I'd like to adopt some different and better things at this point. I definitely have accumulated the middle body fat, hips, stomach, and it doesn't appear to want to go away. So that's my goal.
All right. And then I'll have to get a little closer to see who the name is on that. Patty Guerrero. If you want to unmute. And
We can hear you. You're a little muffled, but we can hear you.
Okay, good. I'll just make it short and sweet. First of all, I love Jocelyn. She's my niece, but I love. I have to do a quick shout out to her and thanking her for allowing us to join us. My husband and I are pretty recent empty nesters, and we have been recently working on just different diets. We've been juicing, and we've been trying to go the gluten-free way for about the last month or so. So we're just really looking for new ideas and health. So that's why we're here. And better, overall health. So that's why we're here. So thank you.
All right, and then we've got Melanie.
Hi guys, I'm Melanie. I'm out in Encinitas, California, and I know the lovely Rachel from rafting, where we have guided together in the past. And the word or phrase I would say I'm bringing into this is lifelong learning. I've kind of done cleanses before, and I'd say outside of a stressful lifestyle, I maintain an 80-20 with my food. But as opposed to the past where I think I kind of just focused on weight, I really want to focus on nutrition. And I think that for myself, there's been a lot of mystery that shrouds cleanses and really, getting to the heart of what's actual nutrition and what's really holistic and what's kind of full of gimmicks, because I have felt like I don't really understand it. And there's no one I trust more than Rachel when it comes to nutrition. So that being said, I'm really excited to learn with all of you and to be a part of a supportive community.
Oh, thank you. And then let me scroll real quick. We might have a couple people on this next screen. Yep. Looks like that is all of us joining online. Okay.
So, would you guys like to partake of some delicious food? Oh, yeah. All right.
Right. So for those of you on Zoom, we are going to do a quick little break of everybody's going to go and get some of the food. We wish that we could have sent it your way, but we will send you recipes of what we're having. So Jocelyn, what did you make for us?
So we have a winter pumpkin soup today, just super light, but fall-y. Like right now, we still like to eat like hot foods. So it's just all kinds of nutrition in one. So we're having a pumpkin soup. We also have some gluten-free bread. I cook gluten-free, dairy-free. That's kind of the lifestyle that I live in. So that's what I want to share with you guys. So everything is gluten-free and dairy-free. And then Rachel made an amazing salad.
Well, I put Jocelyn to work. So it's really easy, I found, to eat healthier and have healthier foods if you have a professional chef doing all of your work. So I was running a little behind on things and she's like, what can I do? I'm not doing it. I was like, chop all that stuff up and put it in a bowl. It looks phenomenal. So it's cucumbers, 2 different kinds of just small grape or snacking tomatoes. Then we have watermelon, parsley, mint, and then we've got just a little bit of olive oil and salt.
Yeah, and then some of the
You did put the tahini in.
tahini.
So here, oh guys, so especially from West Virginia, you won't know what tahini is because you got to move to some place where
Tahini?
there's some
I have
spicy food.
tahini.
Yeah, tahini is
We
it's
have
just
it at
a
Kroger.
chili pepper, and then a lot of times they'll do lime juice with it, and you can sprinkle it. You can use it like on steaks and meats and stuff like that, but cutting up like cucumbers or watermelon or really any fruits and vegetables, it gives it like this little kick and a little lime juice, and God, it's amazing. Yeah.
It's really good. It really elevated the salad, I have to say.
Yeah. And then for dessert, and Melanie will know this one because this is what we did during a cleanse during rafting season one year. So for dessert, we have dates.
Yeah.
1 or 2 dates. It's really, really sweet, provides a lot of sugar. So like when we do have those sugar addictions that we're trying to kick and curb, if we can first start by replacing rather than eliminating, we're not depleting ourselves. So yeah, we're gonna again just do like maybe about a couple-minute break so everybody can get some food. So you guys at home, you can, if you've got food, grab that, grab some water. Yeah, all right, there you go. There's no order, just go.
Yeah, there's no.
Yeah, we're not gonna dismiss tables.
That kicks up tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, Missy kicked our butts in class. Cold water's up there.
Go ahead.
Oh, and away
I'm
they
so
go.
excited that we have people on Zoom. This is
Please.
You know, as much as technology has been challenging, this has been the blessing of being able to
It
reach
is.
out to people, yeah, from different states and people that I haven't connected to or with in a long time. That's been the blessing of all this.
So do you want a Tahine story? Oh, you have to. unmute that.
And they watched me out of my clinic
Oh
down
my
there. They always do that, yeah.
No, I really, I didn't lose my phone, but I would have it. Did they lock you out?
I have my keys. Like if I'm finishing off at night, if you're really gone, and they know I have those. They don't always like close it and lock it and stuff. Like we're having trouble, like, I already locked and stuff. Okay, well, with the business side of it, yeah, but, yeah, 'cause when I first started, but you weren't quite ready yet, but you had your website and everything now. Yes, yes. Go back. I like to know. You have to push the button, the red button, and then. And then you can like all that. Sometimes that's, yeah, sometimes it sticks. Maybe that is hit it.
It's one of those just like, just one of those days.
I know, I've literally been on the go all day.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, yeah.
Get behind me. So, that's good that he has you though.
Yeah, so I was running around and I'm like, so.
Right, right.
Well, message on is not. All it is allow you to move up to a higher. Rewire.
Oh, wow. Not now, I might catch it on. Oh, just me. So it's easier just to eat something. Processed or quick or frozen or. So I can kind of make it.
Oh, yeah. Because I need another outlet. Well, I found out that half of them are, the other half are.
Those water bottles are awesome. Isn't that salad so good?
The soup.
That has squash in it, and carrot, and pumpkin, and then coconut milk. And then I use it's a brand and it's called Not So Chicken. So it's a bouillon, it's a vegan bouillon. Different than the cow, but it has meat and everything in it. saltiness, but it's super comforting. Because I know Rachel said he wanted to give you a little bit of the salad, which is really.
That's another way to psychologically if somebody.
Like one of those people that keeps ending up with an extra pin. Have you ever done that? Like you have a pin and then you take a pin and then you lose a pin and then you find a pin. Yeah, and then all of a sudden I have 3 pins.
There were 6 of them and now there's none.
I have to say I'm guilty. I think every time I go to Donna's, I like start doing something and then I leave and I get in my car and I have pins. They are. They're right. Really, I really like them. They're right. I was a waitress for a very long time, and so I always had my set of pins. And I would always use those to my clients. And now sometimes I'll be somewhere and like, but I thought in my mind, like, this is a really nice pin. And I think it's really amazing pin. And I have the. I find it in the produce aisle. Yes, produce, right, actually underneath all the stuff. Kind of, it's like buying, they have the garlic in the jars and the lime juice. Yeah, there you go. Where you find it. It could be. It could be both. At one point I had 3 pins in my.
You'll have to start your diet tonight.
Well, it's gluten-free bread, so very good.
We don't understand. So in the hospital, she could explain that.
No, thank you.
So they send her up a sandwich.
You didn't have salad?
Well, I'm gonna, yeah. Wait, there's more.
So she ended up with Cheerios. You know, one thing hospital, the one thing they could, but I'm thinking stuff, yeah. That's mobile.
You want some? Yeah.
I was thinking about that. No, she's allergic to oranges.
Well, I thought lunch will give you, it will.
And I have rabbits.
Sit up real share on the table.
Yeah, I don't have.
Yeah.
Rabbits will about now.
I just don't want to be in.
So what do you do?
I need a
Oh, yeah, that one is. All right, for those of you at home, just giving you a heads up, we are getting ready to go again.
I've got it now.
I figured she'd be bronze still. That's where I was gonna go anyway. No, because is that in the way of the Zoom? Here. Oh, okay. There. Okay.
Backsliders.
So, how's the food?
Delicious.
Jocelyn, thank you so much. So is that, so you're eating this soup and maybe a salad, you feel like you're like choking down food or you're deprived or. Fantastic. Yeah. Isn't that so awesome? So a couple of things that you guys said about empowerment and, you know, lifelong learning and support. So we're gonna look at that, all of those things, because we're gonna look at providing resources for you guys and why that's important. But doing it together is really very empowering and taking back your responsibility. It's time to take healthy back, right? So 2 collisions of circumstances have occurred in our world since World War II. One is we've had a massive influx of toxins and pesticides and plastics and poison after poison after poison, combined with a massive degradation of our food supply to the point where, like I said, we had a book had to be written called In Defense of Food. So 80,000 toxins are everywhere. 80,000 toxins. Now, here's the thing. These pesticides, insecticides, herbicides, all of these things, they're not tested for safety. The end of the word, CIDE, means to kill. And humans have so much hubris that we think that, oh no, I have a patient, he sprays poison, that's his job. And he actually thinks they don't impact him. We just have more cells than bugs, but they absolutely impact us and they kill us over time if we don't do something about it. Now, there's toxins in, of course, vaccines and pharmaceutical drugs and personal care products in our laundry soap. And I went to a friend's house and she was spraying fabric softener to freshen the air. I'm like, please don't do that. I mean, don't we have enough poison already? So, I mean, they're everywhere. So the thing is, we cannot avoid all of them. Our bodies are designed to detox. We have all these detoxification mechanisms in our body, which we'll briefly cover. But we're not designed for this modern experiment. We are not. And it's a big reason why we're as unhealthy as we are. So food quality is decreasing. More than 50% of what Americans eat is processed. So that's pretty scary. And that's full of preservatives and flavor enhancers and pesticides and trans fats and artificial colors. So I almost fainted the other day. I was talking to a patient and I've been seeing her for like several months. And her calcium cup, which is a whole other story, was low. I'm like, well, what is going on? What are you eating? I go, do you eat margarine? She goes, oh yeah, I can't believe it's not butter. And I almost fell off my chair. I'm like, oh, I didn't even know people ate that anymore. As a practitioner, somebody should have shot me. I stopped asking that question. You can't, because the trans fats are everywhere and they destroy everything in our body, including our heart. Broccoli could lose 50 to 80% of key nutrients before we purchase it. And then how long is it in? Or it liquefies, right? Troubles. Low libido, skin issues, indigestion, food cravings, reduced mental clarity, that brain fog, joint discomfort, inflammation, fatigue, inability to sleep, pretty much everything. So our body has, as I said, these elegant mechanisms for detoxification. And they're very nutrient intensive. I am not a fan of water fasting. Unless you're one of these people that does everything perfect, but how can you? Because we're inundated with toxins that we can't see or smell or anything. So when you go on a cleanse or a fast, you take the toxins come out of phase 1 in the liver more toxic than they went in. So phase 1 is pretty easy, not too many nutrients needed for that. Phase 2 needs tons of nutrients. So I just literally have a conniption fit when I have people going on cleanses and they're not supporting themselves with lots of plant food. Because you're making yourself sick. Who's done a cleanse and felt sick? Yeah. And that is because we're not supporting our system. The systems that we're going to talk about tonight are so elegantly designed that you don't typically feel sick unless you have lots of toxins to expel. And so that's the great thing about that. Now, you're not going to feel great. You feel tired and all those things, but when you support the pathways, you can get through a cleanse without wanting to shoot someone. So do you guys know about Lucy and the Chocolate Factory? So that's what happens in our bodies when we're given absorbing all these toxins. We've got toxins in our food. We produce toxins in our bodies when we're stressed, all these things happening. And our body can't keep up because we don't give ourselves enough nutrients and water and movement to detoxify. So the best we can do is minimize toxins and maximize. And then our body will treat us really well. So our cells are turning over all the time. Most of our cells renew in a year. Red blood cells lifespan is 120 days, liver is 6 weeks. You know, stomach is a few days. Well, then how come people have this stuff that goes on and on and on? Because they don't have the nourishment, they don't have the nerve flow, they don't have the movement, the hydration to heal those. It's like you decide to build a house and you decide, well, I'm going to go on the cheap. I'll just use rotting 2x4. Like that's what we're doing to our body. So only food nourishes the body. Dr. Royal Lee says the idea that a synthetic chemical could substitute for a natural food is probably the most expensive misapprehension the world has ever harbored. The primary cause of disease is not germs, genes, or toxins, it's malnutrition. Because we can detoxify toxins if we have good food. Americans have been malnourished for decades. And successive generations are getting weaker and weaker. Now, this is one of my top million pet peeves. Ascorbic acid is not vitamin C. It is a chemical manufactured. Okay, so when you say manufactured, you've left the realm of nature, just so we're clear. Ascorbic acid is manufactured from corn in this ridiculous, if you read the process, you would never take ascorbic acid as long as you live. I certainly won't. Corn has no vitamin C. They have to do all these icky processes to create ascorbic acid. And by the way, all ascorbic acid comes from China now. Does that make you confident? Yeah. On the left, that's what real vitamin C looks like. Real vitamin C comes from food. Now, ascorbic acid is part of the complex. It's the least important part. So the longer you take ascorbic acid, the more you're going to deplete your body of the whole food C, because the body's looking for all the parts in here. So when they talk about COVID and vitamin C, do not take ascorbic acid. You need whole food vitamin C. You get that with things like Juice Plus and Standard Process. So detoxification is a great opportunity to hit the reset button, take back our health. And I love it because it's a pattern interrupt. I call it hideously wonderful because it's hideous, at least the first 3 days, because what are we doing? Letting go of all of our favorite things. And we're, having a tantrum inside about, can't have my whatever. So, and our bodies don't like change, even good change. So how does the body detoxify? We must have water. We must have plant food. We must have movement. We must have breath. That's how the body gets rid of toxins. Well, and sweat. But that's with movement, just work with Rachel too. We have to eat real food. This is what creates a healthy body and a healthy immune system. So this is really key, and this goes back to the detoxification process. But a lot of people have trouble losing weight, and then they cut back calories, but they don't give their body the food, so they lose weight with sometimes some crazy processes. But they're so toxic, and the body's going to dilute those toxins. So then it's a vicious cycle. But if you support your body with real food in a detoxification process, then you can lose weight and feel good and be healthy. So that's one of the reasons that I use and recommend Juice Plus, which is concentrated produce in capsule or chewable form. Over 30 plant foods, it's vine ripened, it's pesticide free, every batch is tested for pesticides and molds and all these things. And we have 41 gold standard studies that show that Juice Plus behaves like produce in the body. When I first heard about it, I thought, that is as stupid as I ever heard. Why don't we just eat better? Why don't we? Do we? I'm thinking, wait, I don't at that time. So I eat way better. And the thing about what your body loves what you give it. If you give it sugar, it wants sugar. If you give it fruits and vegetables, it wants fruits and vegetables. So if you're flooding your body with this many fruits and vegetables every single day, you're on a daily detox. And our bodies need to detox daily so that we don't build up all this stuff that's making us sick. Juice Plus comes in a 4-month supply. Why is that? Because that's a life of a red blood cell. By the time you have that much nutrition in your body for 4 months, you have a lot of cell turnover. So usually people are noticing changes by the end of that. I've been taking Juice Plus for 21 years now. I don't know what I do without it. So it's really time to clean up our act. We have new priorities, 6 key changes: eat healthy fats and not unhealthy fats, upgrade to clean meats, eat more plant food, replace and reduce refined sugars, replace grains with pseudograins, and drink more water. So there's a lot of things we need to avoid, but I love what you said. And Jocelyn talks about this too. Let's replace, I call it upgrade to what we're
Julie
doing.
calls that crowding out.
Ooh,
I
look
like
who
that.
calls it that?
Well, Julie learned that in health
Oh,
coaching,
crowding
crowding out.
Crowding out, yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. And then we don't feel so deprived because like this food tonight. So I love the 21-day standard process purification. As I said, it's elegantly designed. There's shakes and there's supplements that you take to support your detox pathway. And the first 10 days is no meat, and then you add clean meat at day 11. 21 days is kind of a magic number for change in the body. And I always tell people, don't decide what you're going to do after 20 days on day 22, because you're a totally different person.
I had a hamburger on day 22 one time. And my boss caught me on tape.
Just give all the plans, leave me alone.
And here is day 22 of the 21-day cleanse.
Should have went for the 28.
I know.
So when you say clean meat, what exactly are you
So-
talking about?
Mean organic, free range. So none of the commercially raised meats are fit for human consumption. So grocery store. There are some brands at the grocery store, like Redbird chicken, for example.
Sure.
It's not organic, but it raises out
Hormones, right. Right.
Yeah, that's one thing you want to look for, the never ever.
Yeah, because just
Never
because
ever.
it says never doesn't mean that it was. So you
It's
want never
really-
ever. There's a lot of tricks played
Oh,
in
for
the food world, so.
Right. Natural is one too.
The natural is, yeah, it was raised naturally, but you want never ever, for
Yeah.
sure.
I worked in the business office at a feedlot pre-college.
Wow.
The medication list of what they gave to every cow that came through that feedlot while they're wallowing in their manure out in those pens was like 2 and 3 pages long.
Yeah, and that's why you
Type.
want to never ever, because then they're treated differently and they're raised differently.
Yes.
Yeah. So just because it says antibiotic free, I think it's 90 days to get the antibiotics out of their system, but they could have been shot up.
While they're in the
Good point.
feedlot, wallowing in all that manure, they have to have the antibiotics or they would
Or they would
get
die.
very sick.
And they have to have the antibiotics in order to eat the grain,
Mm-hmm.
because it bloats them up so that they would die. They're not gonna die. Yeah, thank you for saying that, never ever. It's really important. So there's another program that Standard Process has called the Detox Balance. Now it's all in one. You don't have to take all these supplements, and you could do it 10 days or 28 days. And it's more lenient. So you could do meat the whole time, but it's clean meat. And you can do some grains, like what they say, healthy grains. So I would recommend if you do it, don't do grains and don't do dairy. They even have yogurt in there. Like, that's not a cleanse. So I would modify, and when you do the cleanse, you get a booklet with each, 21 day or the detox, lots of recipes, really good guidebook. So this one's easier in that you just do the shake. And so we'll do some samples at the end to make some shakes so you can taste them. So that's the ingredients. It's actually vegan, so but Spanish black radish is great for the gut, and it's got a lot of good stuff. But it does have oats, so. What was that?
Your timer.
Oh, because I only have 5 minutes?
Yeah.
You're fired.
Go over, I'm just letting you know.
No, thank you, Betty. I'm like, what am I not? Oh, yeah. Okay, so the benefits of, so this is, if you have all these things, fatigue, headaches, they're gonna get better when you detox.
I have better headaches.
You probably could get some headaches, especially with letting go of caffeine. So again, it's a pattern interrupt. You develop better habits. You try new foods. You it's an adventure. If you think of it as an adventure, that's the mindset part, rather than a deprivation. Because the first 3 days are going to be hard, no matter what, because you can still enjoy it. And when you're eating good food, it's just yummy. All right. Newsflash. Healthy bodies have healthy immune system. A mask is not a substitute immune system. A vaccine is not going to help your immune system. It's going to impair your immune system. So you just have to eat real food. So about chiropractic, all stress causes subluxations, which means the spine doesn't work right. If the spine doesn't work right, the brain doesn't work right. So that's what Rachel was talking about, the nerve flow to the tissues. So, you're up.
Look at that. You still wrapped it up after the.
Yeah, all right.
Thank you for all that great information.
Yeah.
Really grab my water bottle.
Is this your fancy water bottle?
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I love it. We're getting some laughs in. Laughs are good for the soul. So thank you so much, Donna. So much great information. And I like that the cleanse has different options, right? So, and for you guys who are online, I forgot to state this earlier. So you can't see the slides, but we did send them in an email. And if for some reason you didn't get the slide, just let us know in the chat or email us back and we'll go ahead and get them to you. And make sure they're in there. We'll post them on the Facebook as well. So first, I just want to say congratulations. You've just made an exciting commitment just by showing up today. Okay, that means that there was something that was intriguing you and that you came with curiosity and empowerment for yourself and your health today. So this cleanse is really a pathway to release toxins and excess bloat from your tissues. Reset your digestive system and renew your baseline of well-being. Okay, you will learn how food affects the way you feel, how to attune to your body's unique needs, and really focus on body connection and communication. Because we're never alone. Our body will talk to us and our body will scream at us. Who has ever heard their body scream at them? Yes, and it's like, okay, I guess I didn't want to listen, but I hear you now, okay? So yeah, I'm really focusing on activating that natural healing potential. Our body will naturally heal itself. So you may have joined the Mind, Body, Soul Purification for your own health in hopes of losing weight, maybe increasing energy, focus, having a better mood, or eliminating physical ailments, okay, physical symptoms that you may have. And I want to just pop back to the weight. Don't focus on the weight. Okay, the weight will start to naturally come off when you start supporting your body and it starts healing itself. And so I just invite you to focus on healing, happiness, and having fun and trying new things. So the good thing is all that is possible. And we want you to leave this time together knowing that you can have this all and that it is health is wealth, you guys. Like it is something that each and every one of us should be able to experience. And like Donna said, there's just so many toxins right now in the world, environmentally, internally, that can kind of get in the way of that process. So there's 3 things I want to talk about, and that is self-awareness of your own bio-individuality. Okay, so the critter brain or the monkey brain, as some people would say, loves to judge and categorize, especially when you're doing an experience like a reset. So you'll have thoughts like, is this food good? Is this prohibited? Can I have this? Can I not have this? Am I doing this right? Am I doing this wrong? The critter brain likes to judge. So we want to say, no, this is my unique body, this is my unique life. I'm supported, and move into curiosity. So tune into your body and discover what nourishes and energizes you. Okay, so you have a unique body, you have a unique life that requires an individual approach to everything. And that's what I love about this cleanse is there's different options for what fits best for you. The other thing is ease, flow, and simplicity. Okay, we are committed, Rachel, me, and Dr. Henders are committed to let you be able to have it all in your life. We should have it all. We should have health, fulfilling relationships, meaningful work, right? And that all can be easy, even if you have never done it before, you don't know how, because we have all these great resources for you. We have 3 coaches, 3 support systems, and 3 accountability partners in myself, Dr. Henders, and Rachel. So that is awesome. And you have yourself and your body. Like I said, it'll talk to you. So when we let go of habits that don't serve us anymore, we fall into the energy and vitality that is naturally for us. So during this cleanse, I invite you just to keep it simple as kind of a mantra. Keep it simple and tap into the why you are doing this cleanse. Okay.
Do you have another slide?
It'll pop.
Oh, okay.
We will. Yeah. So tap into your why is very important. And these are all just great things that you can get with the cleanse, you guys. I didn't talk about that, but it's like expanding your lungs, loving the life that you're in, the skin that you're in, inspiring conversation. So that's why I have that up here, because it's all very inspiring for you guys. So when you're thinking about a cleanse, I want you to connect to how do I want to feel and how do I not want to feel, right? It's an experience. Yeah, and then have fun. So undergoing a temporary diet and self-care experiment, building a healthy foundation, and resetting our bodies and natural healing process does not have to be a struggle, okay? Even if you've never done it before. With a playful attitude, you'll find that the experience starting something new is fun and easy. Who's ever started something new and kind of been excited, but then been like, oh, I don't know. But then you're excited, right? Like, I'm going to try this, I'm going to do this. And by showing up today, you guys said, I want to know more, and I'm interested, and I'm excited. So during this reset, it can take a lot of time and effort, and it does. You know, you do have to make your shakes, and you have to make some of your food. And I will also, there's an option for me to be making some of your food for you. So like I said, we've made this easy for you. You have support. Each of us have different services for you that can help you along the way of this health journey. And so we just invite you to put extra focus during this time for your health, even if it means maybe letting some other things go, but focusing on your health, because you're worth it and you deserve it.
And it's only 21 days.
And it's 21 days, right?
And you know what 21 days does, right?
What?
21 days creates a habit.
It does. So then on day 22, like Donna said. So by prioritizing your health right now, and that the 21 days that we will be doing the cleanse, you'll create new habits and you'll create momentum that will take your life to the next level. So we're putting our oxygen mask on first. A mentor of mine always said, first for me and then for others. And that's because it's just time and you're worth it. And if we can't take care of ourselves and we don't take care of ourselves, we can't be there to take care of those that we love the way we want to. Okay. So accountability is everything. Accountability for yourself, accountability for your health, and accountability for others. This is a group, we're here together. And so, like Donna said, it's fun and you're supported when you're doing it with other people. So Donna talked a little bit about toxins. So just a little bit of science about why you cleanse is when the body's under stress, it releases those toxin waste products from the fat to circulate into the bloodstream. And these toxins can damage the protective intestinal lining. Like for me, it ended up with leaky gut, and I have personally dealt with bacterial issues, and I had to do a cleanse. That was the only way to clean me out, fix me up. I had to do a kill off, and doing that was like mind blowing. It was life changing to be able to do that. So we want to get rid of that toxic buildup in our system. The toxins also make your body less able to absorb the nutrients that you're eating. So when you have that toxic buildup, even though you're eating the salads and stuff, you may not be absorbing what you need to be. Like Donna said, you're still malnutritioned. Okay, so this is why elimination is so important during the cleanse. And I'm talking about eliminating toxins. Okay, we aim to eliminate toxins from the body to avoid that toxic overload. I know Donna talked about that. So to avoid these symptoms or effectively reset the body, it's important to keep all the body channels of elimination open and functioning well. And that's what this cleanse will do. It'll help clear out the new, what did Julie call it?
Crowding out.
Crowding out and then making room. Okay.
That's good.
So specific food allergies are related to metabolic toxicity. So symptoms from apparent food allergies may result from reduced enzyme concentration and also from intestinal bacterial endotoxins. And that's what I was talking about, is some of those bacteria. So one classic approach to elimination or minimalizing symptoms associated with food allergies is using a hypoallergenic diet or an elimination diet, kind of what we use in this cleanse. And then what I do is I kind of do an anti-inflammatory way of cooking. So with all my meals, I take out that gluten and that dairy and a lot of the number one inflammatory foods that are out there. So foods that most commonly cause symptoms or food allergies or food toxins are those gluten-containing grains, dairy products, eggs, soy, caffeine, yeast, and sugar. I know Donna talked about that. Sugar is very sneaky, and companies have become very sneaky about how they add sugar into our foods. Gina just said for online, it's in everything.
It's in everything.
So some dried fruits, some citrus foods, and this is things that I came up with some of my clients, is sometimes it's just poor food combinations. Okay, remember we have unique bodies. So
I was one of those.
yeah. What works for me may not work for you. You know, and that's what I'm saying, you know, unique body, unique life. Sorry. Yeah, so avoidance of these foods has led to a relief of symptoms in many, including myself. I have been gluten-free, dairy-free for about 3.5 years now, and I did it because if I didn't, I would not be standing here with you guys today. I would probably just be in so much pain that I couldn't stand here with you guys. So when it comes to your food, you're fueling during this reset, okay? And I'll be there to support you, and Donna will be there to support you, but just look at what I can have mentality instead of what I don't get to have, okay? So I know the big question is, what do I get to eat? Right? So a healthy, deprivations-free lifestyle is easier than you may think. So during the cleanse phase, we are focusing on simple, clean foods that are easy to prepare and easy to digest. That's like the big thing. We want it to comfort our insides. So the protocol is designed to eliminate those major foods that cause inflammation and digestive issues. you will see that there are plenty of foods to choose from. Okay, this isn't a cleanse where you're like, oh my gosh, I can't have all these things. I know Donna said there's no meat for the first 10 days, but there are lots of beautiful substitutes for meat that will still make you feel not even miss that you even had meat, that you didn't have meat, okay? So during your cleanse, yeah, we're gonna focus on that. The protocol is all about, taking out those foods that cause inflammation. And so there's lots of foods that you can eat, but this is kind of a sample meal plan. I just kind of popped it in there, but like Donna said, there's meal plans in here as well. But I just want you to know that you're much more likely to stick with a cleanse if you have a clear plan on what to eat. So that's what's great about these, like what can I eat, breakfast, and like having a plan. Planning ahead is key. Create your own cleanse-friendly meal plan by using the recipes that are in the book or that are provided. Or you could do it yourself with using the cleanse-friendly ingredients. So like I said, it's your journey. So you can make this what you want it. But ideally, you want to eat more food earlier in the day when your fat burning capabilities are highest and you can really break down that food, and then less in the evening when your metabolic system slows down. So, and you want to kind of do that, especially if you're looking at losing some weight. Like at night, you don't want to eat as much heavy food, and then it really does affect your sleep as well. So what's in vegetables? Okay, you can have tons of vegetables, including sweet potatoes. So one thing, who eats canned veggies in here? I love it. So that's just one thing I want to talk about. So canned vegetables have zero nutritional value in them. Okay, especially they've already been cooked out. You can tell when the color's not there, and then you're cooking it again. So the best thing to do is use a frozen version or a fresh. At least when it's frozen, they're picking it at the prime time and it's locking in all those nutrients. Okay, and going from like a can to frozen does not change the pocketbook very much, and it tastes a lot better, and it has more nutritional value.
I think there's less waste because you can measure out exactly what you want on frozen versus opening.
Right. Yeah, and you have all that water too in the can. Sneaky again, right? So you can have fresh fruits and frozen fruits. When we're talking about non-glutinous grains, we're talking about like quinoa is good. If you've never had quinoa, it's very versatile. It's very good for you. Has a nice nutty flavor, but that could be a substitute as rice or in soup, salads, and you guys can even use it as cereal. Okay.
They have quinoa flakes now that you like that I found on one of the cleanses for like an oatmeal type replacement.
I have actually some at my house right now. And so it almost, yeah, you can buy it at Vitamin Cottage, the quinoa flakes for cereal.
I mean, it doesn't have the same consistency as oatmeal,
But it's still yummy.
yeah,
Like cream of rice, right?
yeah, like cream of wheat,
Yeah.
cream of rice, something like that. Yep.
She's beeping at me.
You're pretty better than
Okay,
Betty.
So the food, and I want to give you a little tip when we're talking about being at the grocery store, just really quick. So the produce has 4 numbers on it. Have you ever seen the 4 numbers on the produce? Do you know what those stand for? No. Okay, so anything starting with a 3 or a 4 is conventionally grown. Anything with an 8 is a genetically modified product, so that's a GMO. And anything that starts with a 9 is organic. So whenever you're going shopping and you're looking at that, number means something. 8 good. Okay.
Sound like when you check out.
It's on the actual vegetable, it has a number, like it'll be like 9403 or 3406. That actually means something. Like I said, 3s or 4s are conventionally grown, 8s are genetically modified. So you really want to stay away from the 8s. So the food we eat plays an integral role in our overall well-being. So there's something called a dirty dozen list and a clean 15. So when we're talking about this, the dirty dozen list is on one side. So these foods have the highest level of toxic insecticides in them. So they absorb the most insecticides. So you want to make sure that you're buying those products organic. However, the Clean 15, these foods have the lowest level of pesticides and are really okay to buy non-organic. So when you're looking at going organic or you're at the grocery store, just know that there are some good foods out there that do not have to be organic. So you will get this list. So now I want to talk about another big reason our bodies clean yearly, or if you're like me or like Donna said, biannually cleansing, to clear out the body of any toxins and allow your gut to be healthy. And one big reason is a dirty little bugger that's called glyphosate. Has anyone ever heard of glyphosate? Yeah, okay. So the crisis is that our gut microbiome and our gut linings are being destroyed by a toxic cancer-causing herbicide called glyphosate. So glyphosate is the #1 chemical in Roundup, okay? And by saying that, it's like should be a little bit scary, the fact that it is in our food. But the thing is it's widely used as a weed killer, found in 75% of our food and 90% in our beer and wine. I know, right? So, and it affects crops with genetically modified seeds, like GMO seeds. Just if anyone knows, like Bayer, Monsanto, they are now one. So it kind of makes you think. But it is also used as a drying agent as other crops like wheat, oats, and barley. So then they're using it to spray on it and dry. Then the plant is absorbed into the chemicals in the cells, so it can't be washed off or cooked away. Okay. So 95% of us have glyphosate in our system. And it is just because it's in our water, it's in our environment, and so it's good for us. That's where we do the Clean 15, the Dirty Dozen, and doing purifications like this to help clear our body of that. So just think of it as like an apple when you go to the grocery store and it's got that wax on it. That's what it looks like inside. So your microbiome, the glyphosate is sticking all your little hairs together like mascara. And so it's not absorbing all those nutrients. So we need to clear it out of our system. And our gut is literally the second brain of our bodies and responsible for nutrient absorption. So we need to clear that out of our system. I have 2 slides going at once, sorry. And just so you know, these are some products that have very large amounts of glyphosate. If you guys are online, some of the popular foods that have glyphosate in them are Cheerios, Quaker, one that I did not know, which was Bob's Red Mill. And I'm a gluten-free person, and so I use Bob's Red, I was using it a lot. And no Lucky Charms run, but some of the best are the 365, the Kashi's, and the Simple Truth Organic, which they have amazing products at the grocery store. So, you know, the obesity epidemic began in the United States in 1975, simultaneously with introduction of glyphosate into the food chain, right? So we have to kind of clear that out of our system. But you will be powerfully supported during this cleanse, during the reintroduction and beyond. So the purpose of the reintroduction phase is just to identify potential food sensibility or sensitivities. And that's why the elimination is so important, because we're eliminating, but then we get to reintroduce and really listen to what our body needs and maybe what doesn't work for me. Like I said, I could be like, oh my gosh, I can't eat broccoli at night, or I can't do this. Like you start to listen to your body and figure out what your body needs. And so that's what we're here for. We're here to help and support you guys with all of this great information, this great products to help clear your body out, maybe lose a little bit of weight if that's what you're focusing on. But I want you to focus on health and feeling vibrant, because health is wealth and we should all be healthy, and healthy does not mean suffering. Okay. Thank you for your time, you guys.
And so I'm gonna just do a little chat, and since I'm like the movement portion of this, I'm gonna invite you guys all to stand up and stretch and go get more food if you wanna go refill food bowls. Yeah, do your calf stretch.
Get the first.
Hey, Jocelyn,
Sit down, stay seated, and you can stretch that way too. All that's good. We need to
Jocelyn,
move, shake some stuff out, get your brain going again.
Jocelyn, can you hear me?
Right, I know, there's so much good information.
Rachel, can you hear me?
No,
No?
Betty, when you go in and get yours.
Ladies, I had a quick question for you.
Yeah, time to stretch, breathe,
Shake it off, shake it off.
especially if you've taken a few exercise classes this week and are a little sore.
Hi, ladies, I had a quick question
You have to
for
unmute
you.
yourself, Melanie, I can't hear you.
I'm off of mute.
Hmm.
I'm off mute.
Let me see. Huh, we heard you before.
Well, I did get your text and I didn't know how to connect.
Oh, you know what? I wonder if I just can't hear it. Oh. I might just need to turn the volume up on this. You know, it's probably just my error. Okay, I'm still learning. I'll look at the chat. Yeah, go ahead, ask away, Mel. Yeah, that's what I didn't realize that either. So that's what, yeah. So all of Bob's Red Mill products has glyphosate in it. I would imagine since most of what that product does are like gluten alternatives and, you know, they have oats and things like that and grains. And that is a heavily, any of our grains and wheat products are yeah, there's a lot of GMO. They use it a lot for that. Yeah, they're organic flax. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, that's actually, that's the flax I have at home right now. So I'm gonna have to look at another brand for that. And a lot of times they use that like in wheat, what she was saying is they spray it over the product and it actually stresses the plant so that you get more of that wheat, like the, whatever part they harvest to then turn into the grain that they're gonna use it for flour when you're milling it down. But that, so a lot of those types of plants like wheat and like the flax and stuff, when you spray it, it stresses and it produces, I think it's an average of 10% more product. And then they harvest it and then it just dries on that. And again, you can't wash that off. So yeah, that was an eye opener on the Bob's Red Mill stuff. Yeah. And so again, just a reminder, this is for everyone in the room too. And I can make sure that your emails get on our list so that you will get all the slides. You know, we do have a couple of other informative things that we just don't have today to pass out because we're emailing over to you guys. And then we'll have it up on Facebook page as well, because we want to have a Facebook page going so that we can interact on that as we're all cleansing and in, you know, in the different parts of that cleanse too. So that way you can feel supported, just even with those messengers and chats and stuff like that. And I'll explain a little bit more of that at the end too. So yeah. I wish you guys could experience the food we're eating here.
Oh, it's so fantastic.
It is really good.
Oh, thank you. Awesome. There's a thing called limestone? Oh, yeah.
Shaking your beer.
There's garlic pepper too.
Garlic pepper.
That's a
That's how I know.
Yeah, it's Mexican, it's a Mexican.
I give up Lucky Charms.
It was founded in 1985. Assistant.
I know.
Okay. Predominantly chili peppers, lime.
I know, it was so
And
much fun when
salt.
I moved here and I was teaching at Intelitech. And one of my students had opened up cucumbers.
telling me.
Yeah, and I was like, what is that incredible smell? And he was like, oh, it's the tahini. He goes, well, what did he say? It was something probably silly like, oh yeah, you've come to the South now, you know, like, let me show you our ways. So
Brown
we use,
chili, sea salt, and dehydrated lime juice.
yeah,
No sugar.
yeah. He's like, yeah, you just lime juice over that and you just sprinkle this with chili pepper.
We used that with the corn on the cob too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Except we also,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Mexican way is we put mayonnaise, the tahini.
And cojita.
Cojita.
I don't know if all that's quite right. Maybe just,
It's probably not all cleansed.
corn and the tahini, right?
No,
You gotta have the mayo and cojita.
yeah. That's the Mexico way right
I
there.
wanted to try that ever since I read about it.
Slather it all over your face.
Yeah.
Mexican basso.
No, you're good. You just can't sit in that chair. You can't, the only chair that you're going towards right now is the only one you can sit in. Just because it blocks the view of the camera. That's why I'm making the beeline for it. We all wanted to sit there. Okay, so now that we've had a couple of moments just to stretch and breathe and get more food and whatever else we need to do, go to the bathroom. I am going to talk to you about movement and water. And so in our 21-day mind, body, and soul cleanse, Dr. Donna gets to be the mind, I'm the body part, and Jocelyn of Soul Smile is the soul part. So again, just talking about the support that you will get from all of us, and just making this a more collaborative effort so that we can focus on some different things, like the mental aspect of what it takes to cleanse and just how we feel about ourselves. And speaking as a woman, I know that growing up and through the years and stuff, there's just all this stigma with food and eating and what you're supposed to look like and how you're so, I mean, a gymnast, for crying out loud, they had you guys starving yourselves.
But I was a gymnast, like, when I was in gymnastics, you look like Nadia. You didn't look like Mary. You look like Nadia.
Yeah. So, and just being able to like have the nutrition that we needed to have strong bodies. And so Jocelyn talked about this, about, you know, just how you're feeling. And even here in our clinic, we talk about being strong first and being supported in our physical self so that we can then support our emotional self, because that all goes hand in hand as well. So one of my ventures, not one of my ventures, well, yeah, one of my main ventures through the years has been about water. And Deb, who is joining us online, she's one of my friends and former clients from West Virginia. And if you pay attention to the news at all, you know, it doesn't always make the news, but about every couple of years or once a year, somebody, someplace has had a major water catastrophe that has like made national news, right? So years ago, West Virginia, because in all the coal mining and all that stuff, you know, that stuff gets into the water and they literally poison our water holes. And you could smell it. It smelled like this licorice type of smell off of the river. And there wasn't a whole lot of, I was actually away during that time, and it was mostly in the Charleston area, and I wasn't living in Charleston, West Virginia anymore. I was living in Fayetteville, but I remember flying into the airport 3 days after the main spill happened, and I flew into the airport, and they didn't have signs anywhere about not drinking the water. Anybody flying in would have used it to wash their hands in the bathroom. They would have gone to the drinking fountain. I mean, you didn't even want to wash your hands in this stuff. That's how contaminated it was. And there wasn't signage anywhere. And that happens a lot with our water. And then, of course, I grew up in Michigan before West Virginia. Flint is still having a water crisis. We still hear about that. So even though we are in the United States of America, where we have access to clean drinking water, mostly by EPA standards, not by Rachel standards, it does not mean that we don't have issues with our water, okay? So, sorry, all got in so quickly, and there are more and more contaminants that we are finding in our water. So Donna was talking about that as well, and even Jocelyn, like since the actually since after World War II, it really just with production and things like that, we've started seeing a lot of growth in these contaminants, not only in our water, but our foods and just the air that we're breathing. And so we think, well, actually, let me talk about this real quick. So now this is worldwide, and I am pulling statistics from the World Health Organization, all right? Just so that you guys, yeah, isn't this fantastic? This is actually, sometimes they're really good for statistics, but just so that you know that now this is across the entire globe, right? This is not just the United States, but there is an estimated 502,000 diarrheal deaths each year, while you guys are eating, each year due to contaminated drinking water. 502,000 deaths, right? There's plenty more sicknesses. It leads to more deaths. Unsafe drinking water leads to more deaths every year than war and any other forms of violence.
Wow.
Contaminated drinking water leads to more deaths than any kind of war and violence across the globe. And then our agricultural pollution is the leading cause of that. Yay! So now not only are we getting in our foods, but then we go ahead and poison our water systems while we're at it. And then only 71% of us actually has safely managed drinking water.
How many percent?
71%. So 29% of people on this earth do not have access to quote unquote safe drinking water.
But quote unquote, because there's all kinds of stuff in it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. So some of the things, let's see, where are we at on this? So water is our life source, right? We have to have water in order to live. And we really need to be around water. Anybody go and like put their feet in a stream and feel how much better they are? I mean, that can change an entire like decade of bad moods if you just go and like sit and be in the water or be around it. That's one of the reasons I raft guide in the summers, is that I get to be on it consistently all the time. And you take people down the water, you sit them in a raft, even on top of the water, and they start navigating, and everybody's in a good mood. 99.9% people of everybody is in a good mood. Yeah, there's every once in a while there's somebody like so destined to have a bad time that you're just like, well, all right. No, but even those who are scared, because there's tons of people who are scared to navigate down riverways, but even when they're scared, they're having an amazing time because the water, we can feel that life source. It's in our bodies. It's most of what we're made up of. We feel good when we're on it, when we're in it, and it could just be an Epsom salt bath, a foot bath, right? You don't have to be doing the crazy stuff I do, you could just be sitting, relaxing in the water, in the spas, in the hot springs, all of that stuff. That's all really good for us. And the challenge with water is we think like it's a regenerating and renewable system, right? Because it's water and then it rains and then it comes back down in the spring. But think about 5th grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, and those systems, that is the same water recirculating on our planet. So in the last 70 years, I'm going to say 100 years, we have done so much more damage to the water than the however many thousands or millions of years before that, depending on which book you read and pay attention to. So however old you think the earth is, it doesn't matter. for 100 years, we have contaminated it much more greatly with everything that we've done. And now that water is this, we can't get any new water, right? We're looking for it on Mars. Maybe we'll bring it from there. I don't know. But for right now, we cannot get any more water. So this is it. This is what we have. So there's these different types of water that we can get and we can think about. And now most of us drink tap water, or here in Pueblo, we win water taste tests across the nation in the United States all the time. Pueblo, Colorado does for its taste and cleanliness and this, that, and the other. I'm not sure what all the categories are. So here in Pueblo, Colorado, we've got it pretty lucky, right? So we think. The top 10 contaminants found in tap water: lead, chlorine, obviously, mercury, chloramines, VOCs, herbicides, pharmaceuticals, pesticides, cis, MTB. So what I want to do is go over just a couple of things that are in there. I'm not going to go over all of them because there's like lists and lists of bad things in our tap water. So we just talk about bacteria. So who's traveled to like Mexico, Central America, South America, right? What do you hear, or what are you always like told about the water?
Don't drink the water.
Don't drink the water, right?
Don't
Why?
drink the ice.
Yeah,
Oh,
why?
yeah.
Bacterially.
Even, we lived in Germany, and even in Germany, you didn't drink the tap water. They said, if you drink the tap water, you were either tipsy or American.
Okay, there you
My
go.
landlord said.
Okay, they know us right off the bat. So hiding it. Yeah, they always say, don't drink the water, right? Don't drink the tap water, don't drink what's coming out of the fountains. But you see other people drinking, well, maybe not in Germany, but if you go to Mexico, Central America,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
drinking the water because they're used to that bacteria. They've grown up on it, so their body is unaffected by it for the most part. So there's different kinds of bacteria depending on where we travel and even where we travel in the United States, right? Have you ever traveled down to Georgia and had water brought to the table at a restaurant? You're like, woo, that tastes a little different. Louisiana kind of has a little different water. I'm trying to some of these southern states that just, there's a little bit like more oomph to it. It's a little thicker, it feels like. Water. Too honest water, little bite in this. Yeah, exactly. Viruses, of course, are in water, and that has been making a name for itself lately with a type of coronavirus, which again, they have been here since the 70s. We have discovered them in the 70s. They've probably been here longer. So viruses, of course, are in our water. This is tap water now that has been treated. Cis, so think about Giardia. Anybody ever, do you guys know what Giardia is? That can be really nasty. That's a really good way to lose some weight. Actually, it's about a 2-week diet, and you can fit into a couple pant sizes smaller when you're done with that one. I hear it a lot on the river because if you're in streams and creeks and rivers and you get it in your nose and in your mouth, like when I throw people out of my raft, sometimes they end up our Arkansas River that runs here in Colorado from Leadville, and it comes down here through Pueblo. We actually have pretty clean water in terms of these microorganisms and bacteria and cysts and things like that. So we're pretty lucky. In West Virginia, again, where I spent 12 years of my life, they have very contaminated rivers. Now, when I go back and I go and play on the new river, I get a sinus infection usually, whereas I didn't before because I was used to all of that, right? So it's just a change. So organic chemicals like benzene, and again, a lot of these things, they cause gastrointestinal illness, vomiting, things like that. That's the bacteria, the viruses. But then we start getting into things that may cause liver, kidney, stomach, intestinal, thymus gland, thyroid, spleen, skin, eye, blood, cardiovascular system, and nervous system problems. I mean, I think we just covered the whole body.
Yeah, right.
Volatile organic compounds, VOCs, again, same thing, liver, kidney. This purification program is to give our liver and our kidneys a break from all of this stuff, from our freaking tap water, right? We think we're doing good because we're drinking 80 ounces of water every day. And if you're not getting filtered water, I don't know if you're going to be causing more damage. It depends on the body, right? Like if our body's in tip-top shape, we are designed to filter a lot of this stuff out and get rid of it, but most of us are not, right? Even the healthy of us are not. And there's lists and lists and lists of the stuff that's in our tap water. And I can make this available to you guys after that. Fluoride, of course, being one of them that in excess can lead to bone disease and cause serious damage to bones and joints. But we're using it in our water to strengthen our teeth, our bones, right? So there's a million things. Chlorine, this is a fun one. Chlorine, it actually reacts with water, with H2O. And when it reacts with water, and chlorine is the main thing that we use to kill off the bacteria and the viruses in our tap water. So when it reacts with water, it produces acid. And then the acid is corrosive and it damages our cells in the body on contact. So as soon as that is ingested, the chlorine interacts with the water, produces acid, makes our water more acidic. As soon as that comes into the body, on contact, our cells start to become damaged. Again, how damaged? Are we in really, really, really good shape and we can clean out some of the stuff and we have really good cell renewal and everything is growing as it should? You know, no, none of us are. But some of us are better off than others. Lead, of course, which is one of the things in our water. Kidney problems, high blood pressure, tiredness, aching bones. And then here's a big thing. In kids, they are now linking that to delayed physical and mental development, depending on levels of lead, right? So I talked about around the United States because all of our water is a little bit different. We might go somewhere and the lead's a little bit higher over there. Or one of our biggest contaminants, lead piping coming into the house, right? So piping hasn't been updated in years, and that's and the lead is corroding and it's leaching into the water. So then we have pesticides, of course, and herbicides and all of those wonderful things that Jocelyn talked about. All of that is in our water. So not to scare you into not drinking water, right? Now we're gonna all be dehydrated. So I spent a lot of time researching different water filtration systems. In West Virginia, it's almost a necessity. You have to have it like in every house. You have to have some sort of water filtration, even if it's just the Brita filter in the pitcher in the fridge, right? Before you drink all that stuff. But I have come across a filtration system that I really, really like. And I want to go over just a few of the different kinds of filtration systems. I feel like I saw something one time, people had like big poster boards and they got to just throw them.
But did that feel good?
That did feel good, actually. So I'm so glad that it did. Yeah, it did. Sorry. All right, it's Alex. She's used to me. She's used to me. All right, so different kinds of filtration. There's sediment filtration. And so if you spend any time in the outdoors, this is going to be something that you understand. That's just taking any kind of particles from the water source that you're getting, and it's taking it through, and we use this a lot, like French drains and stuff like that. So any kind of like, you can take it through gravel and rocks and things like that. You're just trying to filter out the big stuff, right? So the things that you can actually see, you want to filter out that. And it's the most basic filtration system. It's very cheap. It's widely used across the world. You can use it in home, commercial, industrial water treatment. And it will remove things like rust, sand, dust, silt, heavy metals, which is a good thing, and other large particles, but it's not going to get the smaller particles. And then we've got activated carbon filters. And these are things that you'll see in various forms, like the little water pitchers. Those are going to be charcoal carbon filters and carbon filters. And then in the higher end filtration systems. And an activated carbon block filter specifically, they're very affordable still, and they have they take out generally like 150 to 200 contaminants in the water. So those viruses, the bacteria, the heavy metals, that stuff is gone. Chlorine. So that's a big one. When you start getting into these activated carbon systems, the chlorine now you get out of the water. And we don't need the chlorine in the water because we're also taking out the bacteria and the viruses. And one of the really great things about this is that it also leaves the mineral content of water, right? So if we take out everything in the water, we don't have the natural minerals that water has in it. That is part of our life-sustaining process. And then reverse osmosis, a lot of you guys have probably heard of that. And whenever we have like a whole house filter, reverse osmosis is generally part of that. So there's a couple of different processes that it goes through, and it'll agitate the water. It has a semi-permeable membrane. It moves the majority of contaminants from the water, pesticides, solvents, chlorine. It's so intense though, and there's a lot of wastewater. It's 3 to 1 in the wastewater. So because of this process, there's all this wastewater that we can't use anymore for the little bit of water that we can use. And then the number one thing with reverse osmosis is it also takes out the mineral content of the water. So it does take out that those life-sustaining minerals. A lot of times with reverse osmosis systems, like the whole house filters, they will have a remineralization cartridge that you have to put in. So if you go with something like that, you have to be really diligent about changing that cartridge. And generally those, it's like anywhere from like 1 month to 6 months that you have to change those so that you can get those minerals back in. And then we have UV. So this was one of those things when traveling abroad, when I was younger, UV disinfection was really easy, and it was a really easy camping tool. And it was like this little wand, and you push a button and UV light, and you'd stick it down in your water bottle and you agitate the water for 30 seconds or 60 seconds, depending on how much it was. And then it was safe to drink. So that's what I took to South America, never got sick. And again, UV light, just like when we go out into the sunlight, and it kills the virus and the bacteria off of our body. You know, you do have to stand out there for a little while. You can't just have 10 seconds, but ultraviolet light is very effective against that. So, but again, it won't do like the sediment filtration. So if you just got like creek water and it was pretty mucky and murky, you're going to be drinking that. But it won't have the bacteria and the viruses in it. So that's a nice one on a pinch. And there's they're much more affordable nowadays too. They used to be much more expensive when they first came out, but that's a really good on-the-go tool if you are traveling. So I won't throw those this time. Oh, I'll stay on that one, sorry. So the Berkey filters is something that and that's what you see out in the hallway. That's what all of you guys got your water from, was a Berkey filtration system. They're a tabletop system. And for those of you at home too, it's BERKEY, Berkey filters. And if you go to my website, fitinstincts.com, you can go to Drink Better Water, and that'll take you can click on any of the icons. You can read a little bit about it, but you can click on any of the icons, and that'll take you right to our Berkey filters page where you can shop away. One of the things I really love about it is that although Berkey has been around for 25 plus years, manufactured in Canada, but the largest distribution center is right here in Pueblo, Colorado. Woo-hoo! So it's local for us in Pueblo, but they will ship across the world, and it's family. The one here in Pueblo is family owned and operated. In fact, Dr. Donna and I, and then Jocelyn, you may have met Sandy a few times. We know the person very well who operates this in Pueblo, and it's fantastic. They have a plethora of information, and if you're ordering local, you also get your Berkey within like 2 days. And they have a lot of really good deals. And so one of the other reasons why I like them too is that they have this other line of drinkware called Boro, which is for anybody at home. It's this really great glass water bottles and stuff. And they have this is their own line. So they have created this, and they have various, you can see there's one that has like a sleeve that's a hot and cold. So the water bottle goes down in that. And you can see those are my juices that I make every week. It comes with a little carrying case. But those are the bottles that will drop into the sleeve as well. So you have a couple different options. This is one of their bigger bottles. So this is 1 liter. And then it also helps you keep track of how much water you're drinking throughout the day, right? And then it's glass. So why do we want to drink water out of glass? Yeah, we're all starting to figure out that like plastic really sucks. I'm gonna close this. They're vacuuming out the hole for those of them. So plastic water bottles, we now know, right? We see all these pictures. There's like, plastic islands in our oceans. And that's not going anywhere anytime soon. And plastic leaches. So what does that mean when the plastic leaches? Yeah, it gets into our body. So the chemical compounds actually break down of what the plastic bottles are made out of. And so anything that's in that plastic bottle now leaches into our food and our water. And so we have, lost my slide. And so we have endocrine disruptors that we get from, oh, here it is. As one of the chemicals, some of the chemicals that leach from our water bottles. And there are a million studies. I was trying to figure, a couple of things of what to talk to you guys about. And you can go online. There are tons of medical studies in the medical journals, so very credible sources. And we have access to a lot of those things. You don't have to be logged in or be a member for a lot of that. So you can take a look for yourself too. But there is this one really fun study that these 2 doctors did about, and they were testing bottled water versus unbottled water, and they were using snails and mollusks as their test subject. And so what they found with the bottled water that they allowed to degrade over a period of time, the snails produced more offspring. Any idea why snails would produce more offspring? Hormones! Estrogen-like hormones are leaching from our bottles into the water system. I mean, they did this test over and over, and that was the big thing. We're like, okay, well, there were increasing hormone levels, and for most of us, that is not an okay thing. We are already getting enough hormones through the water, let alone getting them from the plastic bottles that we're drinking from. And so those are here for, just from an environmental factor alone, plastic bottles are they're an eyesore. We don't need plastic islands floating in the oceans of them. So don't drink bottled water anymore. Just get a good filtration system. The Berkey systems, they range anywhere from like $250 to like $380, depending on the size. But if you go to berkeyfilters.com, so again, go to info@fitinstincts.com, and that'll shoot you over to our local page here. And they have these great packages where you can get a Berkey, and it comes with a stand, and it'll come with water bottles, and it comes with the filters. And the filters themselves last for roughly 6,000 gallons of water. So in an average home, depending on how many filters you have in your system, that can be anywhere from like 4 to 6 years before you have to replace your filters. So the filters are $120 to replace them, but I was spending more than that having spring water delivered to my house in like a month. So yeah, it's really cost effective. So if you have any more questions about that, feel free to ask and reach out.
Well, can't you just put stream water?
I was gonna say you can. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So thank you. Yes, thank you for that. So one of the reasons that I was first like You guys are awesome. They're prompting me. Now, can't you? One of the things that really highlighted, I got really excited about was that you can put almost any kind of water in the Berkey. And so they use this all the time for disaster relief areas. Okay, hurricanes come through, power's been knocked out, water treatment plant isn't working. Yeah, so they take these Berkeys and they use them. You can put pond water, you can put creek water in that. You can put nasty looking water in that. Now, you're gonna have to clean your filters more often. You might have to replace your filters a little bit more often. But why would they be vacuuming right in the middle of our, I'm sorry, they're vacuuming right outside the door where we have all of our food set up. It's mind boggling. We're not done yet. So the filtration, so it's incredible.
Plus, it's the only filter that I know, at least they're so reasonably priced, that takes fluoride out. Other filters.
Yeah, you do have to buy separate filters to take fluoride out. So they do have fluoride filters. But yeah, you absolutely can remove fluoride. The downside to that is it does take a chemical process to remove the fluoride. So you have to weigh what you feel is best for yourself and your family. But yeah, definitely, if you don't want to have that extra fluoride, Donna made a really good point that it's one of the only systems that you can do that. Now, here's another thing too, though, is that when you have your Berkey system, you want to buy the right size of pretty much what you can drink in a day or 2 days, because there is something added to tap water so that it has a shelf life, or purified drinking water. Any water that's in a bottle in the store has an additive so that it has a shelf life. I don't know what that additive is.
Glyphosate.
But Berkey water will not have that additive. So you don't want to keep it in your system for 2-3 weeks on end. Like if you're going to go out of town, you want to drain your system, let everything dry out. There's a couple of things to that. And if you still have that, then you can you just dump that water out and report. You just put your tap water in it. Or if you have rainwater, if you catch rainwater, you can put that in it.
My 7-year-old was like, let's put snow in it, Mom. I was like, okay, let's do snow.
Yes.
I mean, I hope
You put snow in it. And it doesn't even matter if it's yellow snow. It will be fine.
Well, that's what Rylan, she had just gotten a Berkey and she was talking because she was looking at a different kind of filtration system that she wanted.
Yes.
And she was like, if it all goes to shit in a handbasket, I could literally filter my own pee.
Yeah, you really could.
Yeah,
they have a little sport bottle that has a little filter in it. So if you're out, you in the bottle. Don't drink your pee without
But
filtering
there's
it.
something to that water though, because I have 3 cats and they are obsessed with the water.
Yep.
Like they go to my Berkey and they're like, and I'm like, water, but they are literally obsessed.
Wow. Our dogs know the difference between the Berkey water and the tap water that somebody's significant other continues to keep using at home. I won't name any names, but he uses tap water most all of the time, which is fine. That's all right. You can only make choices for yourself, right? But he'll fill the dog's bowl up. I fill it from the Berkey filter. He fills it from the tap water, and there is a difference in their drinking habits.
Like he will literally knock over any cup.
The cats.
They will push the nozzle on there. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like you learn to use the Berkey.
Learn from the animals. Yeah, right. Her cats learn to use the Berkey. I like it. So anyways, there are many options because the Berkey can be a little bit of a sticker shock, but there are options. Even just going and getting like a Brita filter for your fridge, get something, anything, right? Even if you want to use the ultraviolet, but really I like anything that's going to get the chlorine out of the water is my big thing. And if you notice, if anybody's had any of the room temperature or cold water, you probably notice a taste difference. The hot water is harder to taste, but there is a difference in the way the water tastes. And if you use this, you can take this anywhere and that water that comes out of the end of it is going to taste the same. It's going to taste the same in Georgia and Louisiana, and it's going to taste the same in the Canadian Rockies. All of that water is going to taste the same coming out on the other side because it's going to have the mineral content in it, but it's not going to have the other contaminants in it. That's how Starbucks tastes the same everywhere you go. Fountain cola tastes the same everywhere you go because they triple filter it. Yeah. So what we want to talk about next is this is just now the wrap up of like, okay, now what do we do? What are our steps? How to get started? First and foremost, I want to explain to you that we're going to be handing out here a menu of options. Those of you at home, you're going to get this all via those emails so that you have it very clearly written out. But what you are going to get, no matter what, even if your participation is going to be the free method or $0 from here on out, that's okay, because we have toxicity questionnaires, symptom survey, food intake forms, because Jocelyn, who's doing our meal plan, you know, if you hate broccoli, she's not going to throw broccoli in your bowl every week. She might entice you to try it in a different way, but you know, she's going to pay attention to that stuff. PAR-Q form for me, I just want to see some other things with your movement. Shopping lists, recipes, email, online support. So part of our online support is we are doing Facebook Lives, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. We have some slides, but our Facebook Live is going to be on the Facebook page every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for the 3 weeks that we're doing the cleanse. So you have Movement Mondays, Wellness Wednesdays with Jocelyn, and then Fired Up Fridays with Dr. Donna. And so again, just some more support for you guys, what kind of movement to do, and that'll be something that I help out with. And then Jocelyn, and you'll see the slides here in a minute. So you get all of that support. And then for anybody, you'll get recipes as well. And then anybody who does go through with and wants to purchase the standard process detox, there's two different, well, there's a couple options, but there's two main options that Donna has for us tonight. Any one of those is also going to get your 1 Degree of Change cookbook, which is really great because it also has like shake recipes in it, which is so helpful because I just get in the habit of doing like the same old shake every time. So I really like pulling those out. But again, then you're going to have we've got some specials and deals for you guys. So whatever is the option that feels best and right for you at this time, we have got something for you.
Can I just make a comment?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's too much to take on something that big.
Yeah.
So you can start, like you can talk to any of us, like, well, where would I start? Well, we'll ask a few questions.
Yeah.
Where can we help you start? So you don't have to, like you said, there's the free option, which is make changes,
right?
Increase, you know, improve your water, that kind of thing.
Right.
So you know.
Yes, that's a great point that Donna brings up, is that there's an option for everybody. And maybe you're like, yeah, I'm all in, I want to do it all. And then we start talking to you, we're like, whoa, if you go all in right now, you are going to get really sick. It's just not the right thing for you to do right now. But here are some steps to prep for an all in down the road. Okay, so make sure you talk with us, especially if you're on some medications, some major medications, and you have some major illnesses that you're dealing with, or disease. You want to talk to Donna and Jocelyn for sure, just to make sure that the supplementation can be right for you and it's not going to be something that's detrimental. Okay, so I'm going to hand out the menu. You guys at home, you will get. Here, I'll just you guys
It is on their
pass it
side
up.
too.
And okay, it's also part of through the menu up there.
You guys, it is part of that. Is that part of the PowerPoint?
I did not put that in.
Never mind.
We'll email.
Never mind.
We'll email it. Forget what we said.
I'm gonna make shake samples if you guys want them.
So Donna's gonna make some shake samples, and then we are gonna talk about. Do you want me to just go ahead? Want me to just talk about the enrollment book?
Yeah.
While you make shakes, okay.
Like walk away.
Okay, so we're just gonna talk about what this looks like. So again, we have those Facebook Lives, so you'll tune in and we'll send you that information, the link for Facebook, and so that you can get on there. We want that to be an interactive page. For some people I know are not on Facebook, so you will also get emails, and please reach out to us. You can email us, you can call us, text us. We want to be here for you. We're your team, we're working for you, okay? And so Movement Mondays. Oh, and then I'll go over the Facebook Live in a moment, but then Donna also is offering a mini health assessment. So it's gonna be like body comps, and measurements, zinc test, calcium cup, just a couple of things that she does at her clinic up here on the 6th floor. And then again, the 1 Degree of Change cookbook, that's a PDF, and that can be emailed as well. That's not available. With the standard process that they buy the,
No, it is not.
so it has, but we can get the
But
book.
Dr. Donna said she had a copy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll make sure you guys get the PDF of the 1 Degree of Change cookbook. So again, what she was just talking about, too much too soon, start where you are. Here's how we can start in micro steps. Drink more pure water. Again, several ways to get better water and choosing better water, but just increase your intake of water. Add a salad a day or a salad every other day. Try to cut out, not all of these things at once, maybe pick one of these things off the list. Try to cut out sugar or crowd out, right? When you're trying to replace, maybe get some dates, or there's a couple of other really healthy things you can get at Vitamin Cottage that you can have in place of, like in our freezer is the peanut butter M&Ms, right? Super easy to grab. Go for walks, cut out soda, meditate, or do a media fast. I liked that one.
That's huge.
Yeah, even just stopping that for a moment. So the movement Mondays, which I'll be in charge of. So the movement in the cleanse is also very, very important. That's one of the ways that we naturally rid toxins out of our body. But especially in the first couple of days, the cleanse might not feel very good in our bodies. So we want to just be mindful of that, okay? So in week 1, I recommend walking, hiking, yoga, and any kind of breath work, okay? This is not the time to be starting a new CrossFit routine.
No, it's about listening to your body. Resting is so important as well.
Resting is important. Some of the things that have happened to me on various cleanses is that, like on day 3, I maybe feel like I have some flu-like symptoms, achy body, achy joints. Day 5, I kid you not, every single time this happens to me, and I thought Donna was just lying to me. I didn't think she was lying to me. I shouldn't say that. I was just like, I'm sure that's not really going to happen. She's like, old injuries can creep back up. I'm like, what? Day 5 of every cleanse that I do with standard process, day 5, I'm like, oh my gosh, why is my ankle hurting so bad? And then like a day and a half later, it's gone. So old injuries might creep up in the joints. All right. So just be mindful of that. Week 2 on Movement Mondays, and I'll be giving you little workouts and things to do on those days. Week 2, you can start adding in maybe jogging, core, and cardio, depending on what your fitness level is. Like if you're always a runner, go ahead and start jogging, you know, and even in week 1, if you're a pretty avid runner. But again, week 1, don't start a running routine that you haven't done ever. But maybe week 2, you can start thinking about that. But just get some cardio, get the heart rate up, and then week 3, you can add strength back in. And core work, cardio work, you can do body weight stuff, but if you're going to start lifting weights really heavy again, I'd wait till week 3. So give yourself about a 2-week break from some real heavy lifting of weights. Okay. And then a lot of other things that you have and that we can have access to, and we have resources for, and we will send you a resource page. So obviously chiropractic care, sound therapy, heart sound recorder, stress evaluations, Dr. Donna does all those, kinetics, raindrop treatments, mud detox, trigger point therapy, meal plans from Jocelyn. And Jocelyn's got health coaching that she has available to us. And we do have our Fitness Without Walls here at Fit Instincts. It's our workout program that we just started this week. So it's not too late to start into that. And we will support you every step of the way. You have anywhere from, you have 6 sessions a week that you can choose from, morning sessions and evening sessions. You can do a virtual, you can come in person, and it's a combination of all of these movement activities. Wellness Wednesday.
Yes, for Wellness Wednesday, we are, you guys, like I said, we've collaborated to support, inspire, and to grow together. So with Wellness Wednesday for week 1, we're going to talk about who you're being when you're eating. Okay, when I say that, we talk about stress. And so we're really going to talk about that relationship between body and food. And then week 2, we're just going to get real. Okay, because there may be some stuff that comes up. Like Rachel said, day 5, you know, it may be like, oh my gosh, you know, this came up for me. You may have questions. So week 2 is just support around any obstacles. And then we're going to talk about the magic plate. Magic plate is about how your plate should look with your vegetables, your grains, and your meats. Obviously, that's going to be in week 2 because we do not really have any meats in the first week. And then week 3 is integration and really listening to your gut. Okay, that's where we're going to start looking at like, how am I feeling? What is my gut telling me? How do I feel when I eat this food? How do I feel when I not eat something else? So we're just going to talk about that integration. Like, what do we do now? Week 3. So it's all about that support. And then Donna has got Fired Up Fridays. We love that because she can get really passionate. And we need
She's
that.
our redhead.
We need that push for sure. So week 1, she's going to do stress, like how it impacts health and how to minimize stress. Week 2, carbs, proteins, and fats, all important. And week 3 is brain and heart health. And I'm going to tell you that woman is a magic worker because I have struggled with heart issues as well as brain and head issues, and really bringing that correlation of the 2 together. She's really amazing. So yeah, so that's how Fired Up Fridays. You guys will have tons of support throughout this whole process.
Yeah, so then we have special offers. So above and beyond our menu. So I'll go over the menu real quick. Again, you guys will get this at home. And I can't ever remember, does that go backwards for you guys? Does that look, is it backwards? Probably. So the a la carte menus, obviously the program info with the questionnaires, the recipes, the email and online support, all the Facebook Lives, all that's free. You'll get food lists as well. So you'll just get all of the things that you can eat, the do's and, or the dirty dozen and the clean 15, is that what they call it? So you'll get things like that. That'll just help you at the grocery store, some different recipes. And if that's all you want to do, that's great. Then we have the standard process shakes. So that's $263 to get the full 21-day, all the supplementation. If you're not familiar with standard process, it is whole food supplementation. They take food, they grind it up into little things, little particles, and they put it together into a little capsule or some really yummy tasting sometimes. Like Cataplex B is like liver, ground up liver and organ meat and all sorts of really yummy stuff that we don't eat anymore, but is so good for our system. And then you have to chew them.
You just hold it in your mouth for a little bit. Bite.
Yeah, she says, bite it, chew it, taste it. Donna always likes to say, oh yeah, this is when you have to taste. My dogs love them. Let me just tell you that. They come running and say, you guys want your vitamins? They come running. So it's a really great system. And you have a couple different choices. Again, what she was talking about, you have the all-in-one shake, or you can have the ones that has
And
supplements
this
too.
is the all-in-one, this is the detox.
She's giving some samples here. Then we have Juice Plus, which Donna talked about as well. And, you know, that's just something you should do anyways, right? It doesn't have to be for a cleanse. It's just something that you can add nutritionally. And it's either roughly $60 a month or $80 a month, depending on how many you get. A fruit and vegetable blend, and then you can add the berry blend as well.
And Donna, you can let me know if I'm wrong about this, but with Juice Plus, if you have young children, they usually get their supplement for free.
Yeah.
If like you as a parent, if me and my husband did Juice Plus, our 2 children would get Juice Plus for
Until they're
free.
18, right?
Until they're 18
Yeah.
or also full-time college students. So
Yeah.
for 4 years
full-time
total.
college
So
students
it's
up
a-
to the age of 24.
So just, that might have gotten mumbled a little bit online. So Juice Plus can be, you can get it for your kids for free until they're 18 years old, or if they're a full-time college student, for the duration of their college years. So they can essentially
For
be.
4 years total.
For 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. You're like, yeah, some of us have gone to college a lot longer, but full-time
But
for
no,
4
I mean,
years.
for 4 years, they can be on the
Right,
get
right.
treatment.
So that's pretty amazing that you can start instilling that really young. for your kids. And I know, Deb, you have a couple of young grandbabies, so they could be on, they have little chewables. They're super young.
They're gummies and you
Yeah.
have to keep them away from them because they're really good.
Like the bag, right?
Well,
And then we've got the Soul Smile meal plan. So this is unfortunately only something available to those who are local to Pueblo. And so Jocelyn, you'll get 5 meals a week for 3 weeks that Jocelyn provides. And it comes in this container. That's fantastic. I usually eat on it twice. So I usually get 2 meals out of every single one of those, but it's all anti-inflammatory, all gluten-free, all dairy-free. It's all cleanse-friendly. We've been experimenting for a couple of months on this.
Yeah, Rachel and Jocelyn put together a special meals that Jocelyn prepares that's cleanse friendly.
Yeah.
it'll support you the whole time.
So it really helps take care of, gosh, I don't know where to start, or like maybe I can get 1 meal in every so often. You can just go ahead and buy those meals, buy into that meal program, and then at least you're covered for a while, and it helps ease that transition. And it also gives you some ideas of other things that you can eat. And then detox treatments, that's one of the things that I am providing. So those are 45-minute detox treatments, and they are trigger point therapy treatments along with Raindrop, which is an essential oil treatment, and then mineral mud foot mask. So from the Dead Sea, we have this mineral mud from the Dead Sea. So all that stuff just helps to break down and release even more toxins out of the body and help with chronic pain, referred pain, satellite referral pain. And then we have our all-in package. So you could get the Soul Smile meal plan, the 3 detox treatments, and the shake out the door, $500. Did Jocelyn talk to you about?
I don't know. I just
Okay,
got paid in the money.
Yeah. You've got money coming back because we had to change the program a little bit. So I'm just handing her money. Yeah. So
Sounds good.
yeah, you've got a refund coming back because the all-in package discount now is $500. And again, that saves you about $60 if you're just like, I'm ready. I passed all the tests. Donna said it's safe for me. Jocelyn said it's safe, and I'm all in. I want to do this. So just to give people a couple of options. And again, wherever you want to start is perfect. You know, if you even partake in half of it for half of the days, that's perfect. And then, so some of the other special offers that we also want to give to you, and some of the stuff, some of our other special offers are available virtually. And again, everybody will get to see this. These are in the slides. So with Dr. Donna Hinders at Core Natural Wellness, you'll get a complete health assessment with a consultation, exam, x-rays if it's needed. The HRV and HSR reports, which is the stress evaluation and the heart sound recorder. And that's for $99, and which is a value of $279, but you have to make your appointment by March 1st. You don't have to be there. You just have to make that appointment by then. And then with Soul Smile Health and Wellness with Jocelyn, she wants to offer private one-on-one health coaching. So if you want to take this above and beyond, one-on-one health coaching. So you'll get 4 60-minute sessions. So essentially every week, and then you'll get a bonus week with the cleanse for $350. That's valued at $825. And then with us here at Fit Instincts, we have got our whole health intensive care plans. Now this is a big deal. So when you are in these plans, you are getting 4 sessions a week. It's no joke. It takes time commitment, and but some people are ready for this. A lot of these sessions can be done virtually as well. But I wanted to give you the big prices down low are what is offered to you, because you already, you can already be getting Jocelyn's meal plan, because normally we offer her meal plan through that, but I took the meal plan cost out, and then we, and then I gave you a discount on top of that. So if you want to do 2 weeks of that all-inclusive or an intensive healthcare plan, you'll have a combination of massage, Thai massage, kinetics or detox sessions, active recovery, respiratory treatment, breath work if that's what's needed, corrective exercise, health coaching. So essentially anything that we offer at Fit Instincts. And like I said, quite a few, over half of those things we can do online virtually as well. So again, if you want to be all in, you'll see the big price difference, and that's on the slides as well for you guys at home. So that's what we wanted to offer for you guys. And again, we're here for your support. We are your team now. All right. So use us, utilize us. We love to talk.
Yeah. And if you're not a patient of mine and you want to do the cleanse, I'll have you fill out an information sheet. I'll have a little visit first because I want to make sure, like, Rachel's talking about, that you're okay to do the cleanse, or we can do the pre-cleanse. We can do that. For instance, we had a friend that started the cleansing. She had a kidney transplant, so we just completely altered her program. She did the cleanse, but she didn't do the same thing as everybody else. We just want to make sure you take care of.
There's something for everybody. So
Yeah.
reach out to us and with any questions, like I said. Now I want to ask you guys because with our Facebook Live, we can either have it on the Holistic Health Alliance Facebook page. So if you're not a member of that, go ahead and click that. There's Holistic Health Alliance, the nationwide Facebook, and then the one for our Colorado chapter, which is here, and we're all part of that. So we can put all of our Facebook Live stuff up on that page, which is really easy to access, and then other people can access some of that information as well. Or I can make a private group. So if you guys prefer to have this be your own private group, I will make a private group, and then we can invite you guys, and then the information is still shared that way. So I wanted to leave that up to you guys to see what your comfort level was, because I can do either one. Any preferences?
I get hacked all the time. But private.
A private group?
Private.
Okay, yeah, probably Melanie, who's our computer security personnel online, she'd probably agree with a private group as well, so. Okay, so we'll make a private group and we'll invite you all to it. And again, if you decide that this just isn't the right time for you or anything, you don't have to join, but that's where the information will be.
So whoever's ready to get started and you're gonna do the cleanse or you're gonna do the whole thing, whatever you decide, we're gonna go over to my office and get that ordered for you.
And those of you online, once I send you, and I can easily just send you, because we have 3 of you, 2 of you, I have your emails, and then do you have, email?
For Patty
Patty,
and Anthony Guerrero,
Yeah,
my
yep.
aunt and my uncle.
Oh, yeah, for Patty and Anthony. So we will get the menu of options over to you, just so that you can take a look at that. And all you have to do is just email us back. If you do want to do the standard process cleanse, because we have to order that, okay? So that's just the big thing, is that we have to get it ordered in so that it'll be at your doorstep by March 1st, okay? That's the biggest thing.
And the standard process, we used to have these packets and they're discontinuing them, but they send us a whole bunch. So you guys can take, this is the Veggie Pro Complete. It's really yummy. It's got yellow peas, pumpkin seeds, and sesame seeds. So if you want, we have 2 boxes of these. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you all for joining. Thank you.
Thanks so much, ladies.
Thank you, you guys.
Here we
I guess so. I'm gonna give them back.
Thank you so much, guys. I need to move to Pueblo for a few months. Yes, come to Pueblo for a few months.
Yes,
Oh,
come
there you go.
visit.
Oh, I
Thank
will.
you, and then get a hold of us if you have any questions.
But we will follow up with an email, so don't worry about it. We will follow up with an email, most likely tomorrow, because it's late and we're tired tonight.
Great,
We'll send that
ladies.
information to you guys.
Awesome work.
10:30 here.
Anything else, Deb? Yeah, sorry, I'm not hearing that. Let's see.
Do you know how to screen share?
Yeah, except for it's on my, I'm doing Zoom on the iPad and our slides are on a different computer.
There you go. I was gonna say, if you just load them to your desktop, you can share what you're doing.
I can't hear you for some reason. I don't know. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know where our sound went on this. So I'll send you an email. You'll get all the slides. You'll get the menu of options, all of that stuff. So you'll get that tomorrow, so you'll still have plenty of time if you want to order anything. Then we can get it to you. I'm personally gonna do I'm gonna order the all-in-one shake this time. I've done it without the shakes. But I just want to make sure that I'm really supported nutrient-wise, and I'm already on Juice Plus, so, yeah, so that's the one I'm gonna do.
Sounds good.
Yeah. All right, bye, ladies. Thank you for coming.